Oh man, we're doing it. The year is 2050, and the megaplexes are monsters casting long shadows. When you become a Shadowrunner, that's where you live, in the cracks between the giant corporate structures. Megacorps are powerful in a time when power means information, computer information flowing in a global network called the Matrix. And this game is older than the Matrix. It was made in '93. And 2050 is closer to now than it was to then, which is horrifying to me. And this is the first, this is a game of my childhood, really. This is the first gritty style game that I ever played. Because a lot of my early games were things like Lemmings, Supercars. Those were on the Amiga 500 and some other Amiga 500 games. And on the Super Nintendo, things like Mario Kart, Mario World, Zelda, Super Metroid, and of course Shadowrun, which FASA had a hand in, which is the BattleTech guys. Any BattleTech fan will know. Those were the BattleTech guys. And I figured, so we're going to be doing a Shadowrun marathon, starting with, it was supposed to start with Shadowrun Returns, and then I just thought, why not start with the SNES game? Because Shadowrun Returns actually follows on from this game. You don't need to have played this game to play Shadowrun Returns, but it helps. Oh, my head, my brain feels burnt. Who am I? Where am I? You know, I struggled with the early part of this game for a long time. For like weeks. Maybe even more than weeks. And the reason why I struggled with it was there was no guides back then. The internet was very primitive. And it's very easy to die in the beginning of this game. It's alive! So the reason why it's easy to die is because there's only one save point where you can restore your health in the first part of the game. And it's actually like, if you don't know what you're doing, it's kind of tricky to find. What? You can't be alive. I saw you getting geeked by those hitmen. You're crazy showing your face again. You better get smart like me and pack a firearm or you'll wind up dead. Got no time to talk to a corpse. Those guys find out I was with you, I'll be creamed too. Hitmen, they want you dead. If I were you, I'd watch myself. Right. So you follow this guy and you end up fighting this battle. Already getting shot at. You gotta get this gun. Equip it. This guy kind of sucks, but if he gets lucky, he can mess you up. There's a leather jacket here which will reduce incoming damage by 1, which is actually super useful. So you do this bit, you're already injured, basically. You need to get the firearm, because otherwise you're defenseless. Dog controls your destiny. Seek out 3 items of his favor, then seek his shrine. You know, when I first finished this game, I didn't work out how to get magic. So I actually finished the game without magic, without using any magic, which was it's actually really difficult to do. I put the challenge run on myself because I couldn't work out how you unlocked magic in this game, which happens later. So yeah, this is the bit where I got stuck for a long time, because these ports sometimes contain enemies that snipe at you. Almost every screen has got some enemies that snipe at you. And I could not work out where the first save point is, so I'll show you where it is. I mean, it's really simple, I guess, but it wasn't simple for me. Okay, this dog collar is actually one of the 3 items of Dog's favour. So I'm just picking it up on the way past, but you can't get the other 2 until later. So in order to unlock the first save point, you're supposed to head into this building. No one tells you to go here. You're just expected to find it. Some money on the table. You're supposed to examine this guy and pick up the key. I think there's nothing else you can do in this room. And the key has got 6 written on it. And then there's an apartment block and you're supposed to open door number 6. Both this screen here and this one are both very dangerous because there's a lot of enemies that can appear here. Like this guy. And your stats are just terrible early on, so you can just die so easily. And then you're supposed to find this door, which is apartment number 6, and use the key on it. Which also says, it has a number on the key, it reads 6. Ah, come on. Too far away. This is so annoying. And this is the first save point. It took me weeks. As a child, it took me weeks to find this. I'm not afraid to admit it, but it perplexed me for a long time as to what the hell I was supposed to be doing. Okay, some shades. So the money in this game is called New Yen, which I think is just a play on the Japanese currency. Cancel your run, Jake. Hand over the files. We mean business. Drake. Now, until you find this apartment, there's no way to heal. So what I was doing was I was just wandering around the whole beginning area, just getting killed. And if your luck is bad, any enemy can kill you. Like, no shadow of a lie. This is the spot for making money, which we're gonna need. And experience. The reason why is that this guy drops an unusually large amount of money. And also there's a guy that sometimes appears here, but he's quite rare, but he also drops a lot of money. You do sometimes get sniped though. That guy in the window can actually shoot you even though you can't see him. Okay, this is the one that sometimes has a lot of money. Ow. Alright, time to be somewhere else. Oop. I have no health, so I have to go back to the bed. And so you can see how easy it is to die in this game. Like, I obviously, as an adult, am way more competent than I was as a child. Getting killed at this early phase of the game is it's all too easy until you get more hit points and better firearm skill. So most people just spend a little bit of time, you know, most people playing this game now spend a bit of time here leveling up. You can also level up very quickly in the graveyard, which is another place in this first area, but the game developers know that you can do that. And so what they did was they made it so that the ghouls become slowly ever more strong in that area. So you can only really level up there for a little bit before it becomes before the ghouls become too strong. So you can see here I'm really not. I think you get like 1 EXP per kill, and something like 10 EXP gives you 1 karma, which is the money that you use to buy stats and firepower. You know, it's probably possible to... Wow, maybe? I wonder if it's possible to win this game without leveling up at all, because you can hire Shadowrunners to guard you. But they're not necessary to beat the game. Magic is definitely not necessary to beat the game, because I beat the game without magic when I was young, so I know for a fact that you can beat the game without magic. So I'm just wondering whether you could possibly just hire runners to do all your dirty work for you. So you can see early on, just 1 enemy is enough to take half your hit points. Actually, I will spend the... I normally collect like 3... I used to collect like 3 karma first to get to 40 hit points. Upgrading my firearm skill. Will just help me put these guys down faster. Right, let's have a look at the rest of the map. I'm gonna spend forever here. We can always spend some time in the graveyard to get these first early levels going. So as you can see, these enemies are everywhere. And if you haven't found the healing point, then you're in for a bad day. Okay. I don't think there's anything else in this room. I think that paperweight is the only reason why you come in here. Remember when computers looked like this? And apparently they were still going to look like this in 2050. Which is, we know that didn't happen. I'm afraid my boss is out. I'm sure I didn't have you scheduled in anyway. Right, I don't have the right words to progress progress that. Oh, look at these old school servers. So the cyber deck is used to access computers, but it doesn't work with Jake early on because he's got a broken data jack. Can't remember, I don't think this lift does anything that... No, you can see the hole where the guy is going to appear. Hi, keep your voice down. You have something you want to offload? It better be good, and the less heat behind it, the better. You don't seem to know what I mean. Are you a Shadowrunner? If you're hiring, they can have almost any skill you want. You're gonna need a lot of money, at least 500 million. And you're a fast talker, you might want to negotiate your way to something better. On the streets, a good negotiator can save themselves a lot of money. You can also ask him about firearms and get a grenade. Most people say, like, it's not worth buying the grenade, but the grenade does have a use. I don't think you can have more than one. There's a bit coming up in the future where you get trapped in an arena, and the grenades are super useful for killing the guy that runs the arena, so you can get out without paying him. In fact, you get paid. Hamfist doesn't like you already. Best to have good news if you want a decker like me. Think I'm done. Done 100 runs and haven't lost one neuron yet. Right. We can't afford anything right now. We need 150 money for a badge as well later on. Haven't seen you for a while. Your usual, I suppose. One iced tea coming right up. Can't remember. Yeah, he doesn't. There you go, your favorite. One iced tea. You need to give it to this guy. Like, this... You had to work out all this stuff on your own. And it was a pain in the ass. But I loved it. Because I was a kid and I didn't have any other games. Cheers, Chummer, my favorite too. I almost had them. Almost had the tickets in my hand. Tickets to the Maria Miracle concert. They were almost mine. Even gave Grinder the money. Poor Grinder, he got wasted by Lone Star. The more guys carried off what was left of him. I always wondered, like, if you could give the tickets to him. Maybe I'll try that. So this is the graveyard, which is like the best place to level up early. But every time you kill one of these ghouls, they gain like 1 HP. Until eventually they've got 44 HP. Which makes them almost indestructible. But as you can see, they cause you to level up very quickly. So if you examine the door, it says to use something sharp to open it. That's how you know you're supposed to use the scalpel to open these doors. One of these rooms is quite good for leveling, because you can sort of hide where the enemies don't spawn. But it's the bottom one that that really matters. He is in great pain. He cannot speak. Jock, man, you saved my life. Chrome Coyote's the name. Shamanism's my game. You must have the gift too, eh? Only a shaman could hear me call into the spirits. A little keepsake for you, man. Take this magic fetish. You be a true shaman, and you are one with the earth. She provides power for your magic. Dog, your totem calls to you. Appease his wishes and he will serve you well. I see a need for it in your future. He who seeks it is the bearer of untruth. So, you know, you probably, if me as a kid, you're like going through all the conversation options for everything. You probably had already burned like 4 or 5 hours by this point, just trying to work all this out. They remain damaged if they go into the floor, so you can get them. Look, you can see that they're getting tougher. I don't know how many I've killed, but... And if you die, you just lose all your progress. So... You're walking around with 30 HP in the early game. You get killed. Well, guess what? You're going back to the title screen. The stuff with the shaman, you can actually come back and do that later. It's not important for progressing right now. You know what's funny is there's these other stats like strength and charisma. They are completely useless for a long time. And so is computer. Like there are so many stats that you have that are useless early on. But they just exist to burn your burn your experience points if you don't know what you're doing. Alright, this is the Megabucks over here. So this guy sometimes drops as much as 60 Nuyen, which is like some of the highest cash that you can get in the game for a kill, for a single kill. That's not a boss, just to quantify. There are bosses that will throw money at you like there's no tomorrow. But early on in the game, money is quite tight. Oh, lucky, lucky, lucky. Ah, that's what I mean. 443. Oof. I know exactly what I'm doing, and it's actually very difficult, very dangerous. Working up the $500 to hire Hamfist is a thing as well. You don't have to hire him. There's no compulsion to do so. But you can use him to hack into a computer that will get you a bit more money, as long as he doesn't die, which he can do. $60. That's the highest payout in the starter area. Unfortunately, this guy is not very good experience points, as far as I know. But what he lacks in experience, he gives in cash. Oof. You got lucky there as well. That sniper dude has got no health. I think he's got like literally 3 hit points. Ooh. Wrong door. That's also a very easy way to get yourself killed early on. Come back to the bed with hardly any hit points and walk into the wrong room. And get shot to ribbons for it. Okay, I got 330 cash. That's actually a reasonable amount. You may not want to progress to the next bit of the game, but we'll clear the area. Because you cannot earn money as quickly in the area where you get stuck. So this is a better area for leveling and a better area for grinding money, which you will need early on. Okay, so you ask him about Lone Star, and he says he's got an ID badge for 150. I can't remember if you can get more than one grenade. I think you can get a few. The grenades are really random. They can do as little as like 1 or 2 damage, but they can do as much as like 25. And so you just need a little bit of luck, and you can blow up the king, which is this guy in the next area, in the next chapter of the game. And instead of having to pay a lot of money to leave the area where you're trapped, you instead get paid. I mean, he dies, but hey, these things happen. So I'm just going to show you this. I know what's going to happen. They're going to run for it. Oh no, the zombie! So you can't talk to them. So this is one of the funniest things in this game. You put these stupid shades on. I'll just put these on. There you go. The iconic shades. And now they don't recognize you. Oh, there's one more file out of the way. You wouldn't believe the number of guys fragged today. Hey Larry, where's the little urn to ship number 8 in? Ask the other guy. Oops. I haven't got all day. What do you want? Nice shades. Do you always wear them indoors? Grinder. No sightseeing allowed. If you ain't family or you're not a badge, I'm afraid he stays with us. So now you actually put the Lone Star badge on. And now you can gain access to Grinder's body. You Lone Star boys sure did him over good. His file and belongings are in the cabinet. Do you want me to pull his file for you? Yes. Man, I know exactly what I'm doing. It's like it's 33 minutes in, just for the first area. Look, buddy, I haven't got time at the moment. Why don't you look for it yourself? Will do. Need that cred stick for the phone. Grinder's file is here, and so are the concert tickets. Right. So you need the concert tickets to go to the concert, which is the one area that we haven't looked at yet. I think this game's got 9 chapters, and we're almost at the end of chapter 1, so it's quite a short game, in theory. I mean, you know, in the era of no guides and being a child, this game took me months to solve, which, you know, I'm not afraid to admit that, because I was probably like 7 or 8 years old at the time, so, you know, not a tactical genius, for sure. No entry without an official ticket. Come back when you got a ticket. What? Yeah. Okay, buddy, go on in. And a guy will appear here once you've solved all the stuff in the chapter, and he will take you to the next area where you'll be trapped. Ah, look at those state-of-the-art SNES graphics. Working here at the cage hasn't done my hearing any good. What is it that you wanted? There is actually nothing to do here. Oh, I should have tried giving the tickets to the guy who owned the tickets. Although, now that I think about it, maybe he actually just tells you to keep them. Or keep one. I can't remember. Yeah, the tickets are gone. I've already handed them over. Sorry, dude. Damn, that one was tough. And that one wasn't. So, this is Grinder's secretary here. No, not Grinder. No, the other guy's called Glutman, isn't he? That's it. Well, first you have to read the ripped note to get the phone number. And now you have the cred stick to use the wall phone. Haha, wall phones. Oh, this game had a funny idea of what 2050 would be like. It is a bit like BattleTech in its 1980s interpretation of the future. Oof, that was close. Talk about taking risks. Please insert cred stick in slot. Jake, you're alive. I heard you were dead. Got myself a new boyfriend and everything. Last year's stuff was just thrown out. Still getting calls. Tell your buddies to stop calling us. Some Glutman guy keeps calling. His number is 934782. Bye, Jake. And that's it. She ditches you. Wow, she did think you were dead, I suppose. Oh, what am I doing? Firearm. Okay, that's pretty much it for the beginning of the first level. So you can see what kind of game it is, but I just thought it would be funny to tell you guys the story of how long I spent in this first area trying to solve this combination of things that you were supposed to do. It took me weeks to find the bed, so I was just getting killed a lot. Like a whole lot. It's very easy to die in this game at the beginning. Super, super easy because of the RNG in the snipers, and they're everywhere. So if they get a good series of rolls, they can hit you for like 4 or 5 per hit, and can therefore kill you very fast. As nearly happened a couple of times in this video. But anyway, that's it for the first episode. We're gonna not rush through this game, but we're gonna take a solidly good pace through this game. And get it finished, and then you'll have experienced it, and then we can move on to Shadowrun Returns, which is the follow-on from this game. Because at the end of this game it said, oh, we'll all be back in Shadowrun 2. But it didn't happen. Shadowrun 2 was not to be. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying it, and I will see you guys in the next one.